Never run out of battery again with the INIU portable charger, the slimmest 10,000 milliamp hour power bank that keeps your devices charged on the go. Stay powered up wherever you go. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
I'm an autistic trucker with 700,000 miles, clocked up in a job I wasn't meant to have. An autistic trucker has clocked up 700,000 road miles after defying expectations that he would never even be able to have a job. Stuart Harvey, 32, has been in the haulage industry for 11 years despite being laughed at in primary school when he said he wanted to get behind the wheel for a living. His high-functioning Asperger's, a form of autism, means he has a structured approach to his job as he follows a four-generation interest in transport on his paternal side. Stuart, from Hoddesdon, Herts, spoke to Metro for World Autism Awareness Day, which he will spend on the motorways between his hometown and the West Midlands via Northampton, returning in the early hours of tomorrow. I might have to consult Professor Brian Cox about this, but the distance between the Earth and the Moon is about 240,000 miles, so I've done the equivalent distance almost 3 times, he said. It's quite something, but it doesn't take into consideration the miles I've done outside my job, because I've got my motorcycle and my car, and I go out on those as well. The miles don't bother me, because I know I can do the distance, and I like being in a job where I'm in charge but not in charge. I also feel that every mile represents a story. I know the route, but I start with no expectations, and I have no idea what's going to happen on the road, whether there will be diversions or I'll come across someone who needs my help. Stuart is following in the footsteps of his grandfather, who did national service in the Army driving heavy vehicles, and his dad, who got his Class 1 HGV license in the 1990s but did not drive professionally. I know this sounds bizarre today, but I come from a time when autism was just something which was never spoken about or even heard of, he said. By the time they integrated it into DSM-5, Child Mental Disorder Classification, back in 1995, when I was at school, hardly anyone had heard of it. 10 years later, it was as if everyone and their dog had heard about it. There was a massive increase of awareness in education and health within a really short period of time. In 2007, the United Nations designated April 2 as World Autism Awareness Day. The peacekeeping body aims to promote the full realization of human rights and fundamental freedoms for autistic individuals, ensuring their equal participation in society. In the years since, significant progress has been made by autistic advocates who have raised global awareness, the UN says. At school, my biggest battle was that whenever anyone mentioned the word autism, people thought of Dustin Hoffman's character in the film Rain Man, who can't speak properly and would never be able to live independently or get a job. At the same time, he's so good at maths, he gets pulled up by security who think he's cheating when he plays poker in a casino. It shows how valuable autistic people are in society. They are an untapped resource being wasted by the people in power. Stuart got his full Class 1 HGV license in 2019 and started out on rigid lorries before doing articulated work, driving throughout COVID when he was classed as an essential worker. He works 10-hour night shifts behind the wheel of his Roadrunner Mark 8 truck and trailer, which can carry a maximum 44 tons overall. She's a formidable piece of kit, like a computer on wheels, Stuart said. Neither the driver nor his bosses know of anyone else with autism working as a trucker. In fact, he is bucking the trend simply by having a job. Only 3 in 10 autistic people of working age are employed, according to the Buckland Review of Autism Employment, published in February 2024. Obviously, we have all heard the speeches by Rachel Reeves, the chancellor, recently, but one of the things that alarms me is that the government is stripping disability benefits, Stuart said. This is really not going to help people with autism. The problem we have already got is that there is a gap in kids getting trained up in practical skills, which goes back to Tony Blair's government in the 90s. A lot of the drivers have come in from Eastern Europe, which has backfired with Brexit because they have decided, we don't like the way we're being treated, we're going. When it comes to the autistic community, there are high-functioning individuals out there who want to get jobs, yet they are persecuted something rotten. By far the worst experience I had in the workplace was an HR manager who falsified evidence and had me fired from my job. I've had 13 separate jobs before my current one, which is the longest single employer I've had since school. The 18th Awareness Day is focused on increasing understanding and acceptance of people with the condition. On the road today, Autism Awareness Day will be in my thoughts, and hopefully I'll be able to chat to people about it and the valuable role people with autism can play in society, Stewart said. I'm also keen to tell people about truck driving in general and how we worked throughout COVID and help keep the country moving. Moore, one of Britain's youngest lorry drivers, says he's ready to quit as job is making him ill. Moore, autistic HGV driver who was laughed at in school, refuses to abandon dream job. Moore, teen told, autistic people can't be doctors on way to medical school. Do you have a story you would like to share? Contact Josh Layton at Metro Co. UK. Stay on top of the headlines with daily email updates. This site is protected by Ray CAPTCHA and the Google privacy policy and terms of service apply. Your information will be used in line with our privacy policy.